Let's get a bit more on this. We're joined on the line by the Deputy Competition Commissioner, Hardin Ratshisusu. Thank you for joining us, Hardin. Can you first explain excessive pricing? Because these companies weren't colluding, so it's unlike other competition cases. They were acting on their own, and I actually thought if you were in the position where you had a drug that nobody else had, so there was no competition, you could, in fact, according to our laws, charge high prices. So explain what the law says, please.
Thank you, and good evening to the viewers. Excessive pricing is one of the prohibitions in the Competition Act, in the sense that it is prohibited for a dominant firm to charge excessive pricing. And what is defined as excessive pricing is that price which bears no relation to what we call economic value or cost or prices in similar markets. This is a very serious contravention as we have it, but a complex one, because you will, as you say, I mean, most companies would be inclined to defend their pricing practices, especially when they are on their own. But in pharmaceuticals, it's quite different, because we are dealing here with companies that are eventually monopolies in their own spaces. And the case, for instance, of Roche, where we are concerned with them, of course, the R500,000 drug, in our view, appears excessive when we look at other markets and the prices they are charging elsewhere. We are also concerned equally about their behavior, because some of this drug, the patent is expiring in 2020, but already they are engaging in some skirmishes with a company called Genetech to try and extend the patent to 2033. That to us is a big problem, and we are concerned about such behavior. I hope I've clarified what we mean by excessive pricing. No,
you have beautifully, Hardin. Thank you very much. And I like the example you raised, R500,000 for a 12-month course of Herceptin for breast cancer. So that's life-saving drugs. But is the Competition Commission the right body, Hardin? Because government, all around the world, it is accepted that for life-saving drugs, say for AIDS, governments can say, we will buy at this level, and we have a regulatory framework. You're also talking about patents, and we have a patent regime. So shouldn't we look at those things?
What we are interested in as the Competition Commission, as you recall, I mean, the Competition Act gives us the power to look at economic activity across the board. We are more interested in the efficiency of the economy. And we are not saying they cannot be patents. Where there are patents, the issue that we have, the concern that we have is abuse. You will recall we had a case over 10 years ago involving ARV drugs. We eventually reached companies in settlements because they were charging those ARVs exorbitantly. We have a lady, Hazel Tao, and a few other people who came forward to the commission. When we investigated, the parties agreed to even license those products to other pharmaceuticals. So they realized that these are critical drugs. So we are well within our powers to inquire about these issues. And we know that there's always a pushback in the to say, well, where there's a regulation, we don't have to look at efficiency. We do so because that regulatory regime may well be abused by the parties involved. So we have to protect the consumer. The consumers out there are crying out loud. Cancer drugs are exorbitant. They are way above the needs of our people. They cannot afford these drugs. We want to ask a simple question. Is the price that these firms charging a reasonable price? Is it excessive, or is it related to the cost? That is our simple question. That is what we want to pursue.
Hardin, very quickly, because we're running out of time, but there are women out there with breast cancer who simply cannot afford R500,000. This is life or death for them. So when do you expect an outcome?
We have prioritized this investigation. We will see in a year's time how far we go. We will obviously try as much as possible to finish this as quickly as possible. I think this is what we will try, because we note the significance of the inquiry.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this evening, Deputy Competition Commissioner Hardin Ratshisusu.